In the summer of 2002, before his senior year of high school, Patrick, along with his younger brothers and sister, found a place they could call home with the Finleys.
I felt for the first time in my life, I could be a kid. I could wake up, brush my teeth, and have hot water, and maybe possibly like have a girlfriend or something, because I wouldn't be ashamed to like bring them home.
We'd give them an allowance for doing, whatever little chores they had. I can remember Patrick, he would come to us and say, well, do you need any of this for like the light bill? I was like, no, that's your money, you can keep it. He didn't have to worry about basic need kind of things. I think he could concentrate on himself more and what he needed to do.
As a high school senior, Patrick achieved a first for any athlete in Tennessee. He was nominated for the Mr. Football Award on both offense and defense. Patrick also encouraged his younger brothers to play. He saw the game as a way to keep his youngest brother, Detrus, out of trouble.
Detrus kind of like the wild one out of all of us. He was like the wild Bill.
Detrus was like somebody that like, he was changing, but he's that type of brother that, man, I just pray that God watch over him tonight, because he might go out here and do something crazy.
This is Patrick Willis, a five-time Pro Bowl linebacker who led the San Francisco 49ers to the brink of the Super Bowl.
Got him. Uh-oh.
And this is where he's from, Brewston, Tennessee.
This right here, folks, this is why I like coming back home right here.
Here, Patrick has fond childhood memories. But at home, he, his brothers, and sister endured years of abuse from a father who used drugs. The summer before his senior year of high school, Patrick and his siblings moved in with his basketball coach and his wife. The couple became their foster parents. Patrick, his brothers, and sister would never return to their father's home.
What were you hoping was going to happen at that point?
We were just really hoping that Daddy was going to change.
We were just kind of there to give him somewhere to stay until everything passed over and he did the counseling. Well, he never finished everything that he needed to do.
I went through counseling. I went through parenting school. I went through parenting class and all that angerment class and all that stuff. And it never happened. It wasn't meant to be. They weren't going to let me have him back.
During his senior high school football season, Patrick received interest from the University of Mississippi. But Patrick struggled academically, and there were concerns over whether he would qualify for an athletic scholarship. For the first time in his life, Patrick's needs would be prioritized.
My husband and Patrick, I could not count the hours that they prepared for the ACT. They would practice and practice, and I mean, he really worked hard to get that ACT where it needed to be.
Patrick earned a full athletic scholarship to Ole Miss. 2 weeks after graduating high school, he left home and his siblings for the first time.
The day they dropped me off, I never forget telling Coach Majuli, I said, Coach Majuli, someday I'm going to be able to repay y'all back. I'll never forget Coach saying, Patrick, I don't care how much money you make in the world. He said, you ain't got to pay us back no money, not anything. He said, the way you can pay us back is by getting your education.
Patrick started all 13 games as a freshman and earned honorable mention All-SEC honors his sophomore season. By his junior year, he was an All-American. Then, in 2006, as his senior season was about to begin, Patrick was at Ole Miss when he received news from back home.
I'll never forget getting a phone call from my brother Ori, and they said, man, Patrick, I think they said Detrus drowned. I said, well, don't call me with no I think. So I said, man, fine. I said, find out and let me know. And he said, all right, Patrick, I'll find out. Next thing you know, I see my phone. I see my brother's phone ring. I'm like, oh. I'm like, or. He said, man, Patrick, it's true. And I don't know. I I just got the look on my face like I was just lost for words.
Detrius had been swimming with friends in a dangerous quarry and drowned. He was 17. A Division I prospect, Detrius had hoped to play with his big brother at Ole Miss. Patrick went home to say goodbye.
You never take anything like that good or okay, but he was just a rock. I know I said then to my husband, why is he so grown? You know, how is he so wise beyond his years? I don't know how one does it. He has an unbelievable faith.
His big thing was that Detrius would watch over him his senior year at Ole Miss, and he dedicated his senior year to Detrius. And whatever's happened since, I know he carries Detrius with him in everything that he does.
That season, playing in honor of his brother, Patrick won the Buckus Award, given to the best linebacker in college football. He also won SEC Defensive Player of the Year. At times, he was playing with either a broken hand, sprained knee, sprained foot, or separated shoulder.
Every time I saw him, he had a cast on his ankle, he had a cast on his forearm. What's up with this guy? When I heard his story, I was like, wow, I'm impressed. We got to get this kid.
With the 11th pick in the 2007 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Patrick Willis.
That day, Patrick was home with his foster parents. When he got that phone call, what did you see in him?
I don't know, I was too busy crying. Everybody else was cheering and hollering, and we realized that it was the end of a long journey and the beginning of a new one for him.
At 22 years old, Patrick Willis had almost everything he ever dreamed of, except for a relationship with his father.
Yes, sir.
Around the time of the draft, Patrick went to visit him at his trailer in Tennessee.
I would just tell him, I want to be able to have a relationship with you. I can help you. So you need money for lights and groceries or food or something, but you taking it and you spending it on drugs. He literally pulled out a pocket knife. He said, Pat, you better get away from her. Ain't nobody doing nothing. I told you I wasn't doing no drugs.
He come through the front door and his eyes were just red, you know, and I knew he'd been crying. It was the only time I've ever seen him emotional or kind of broken-spirited and upset, ever. He wanted to help his dad so bad. And I think he was emotional because he wanted his dad to help himself, you know? Sorry.
When you have a tough childhood, it makes the tough things very normal. You know that I've been through this, I can handle the rest. This is just a game.
It's also a job, and Patrick works hard at it. In 4 of his 5 seasons with the 49ers, he was first-team All-Pro. He's currently in the 3rd year of a 5-year, $50 million contract extension. This past season, Patrick led San Francisco to the NFC Championship game.
Big-time stop, Patrick Willis.
In October of 2010, he paid $5 million for a house in San Francisco.
I've been dreaming of getting a house like this since I was a kid.
Welcome home.
Last June, Patrick's interior decorator gave him his first tour.
I'm talking myself, see if it's real.
It's a place Patrick Willis can finally call home.
We have dining.
Home for all of his family.
And then I put your brother right there for you.
Thank you.
A home for Patrick's siblings and foster parents to stay whenever they visit.
Ever since we was little, Patrick was there. Each Father's Day, the first person I would wake up and text would be him.
For your parents?
Man, you know, it just goes to show that, you know, I don't care what people say about family. You know, people always say, you know, that's my blood right there, that's family. But at the end of the day, I don't think love has anything to do with blood. I just think love is is those that's willing to be there for you unconditionally.
As for his father, there is only hope.
I think what would mean a whole lot to Patrick if Daddy was to say, I'm going to go to rehab. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go get my life and stuff straight, and we're going to try this again.
My relationship's still good with him, I hope. For him, I hope it is. For him, for me, it's still good. It's going to stay good right there all my life till I'm dead.
I know that we all not perfect, and that's understandable, but I also believe, too, that, you know, man can change. My daddy, I feel, for the most part, our relationship has changed for the better now than it was back then. So, and what happened to all the kids, those days are behind me. Now is all that matters.